Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful Saturday morning, a little bit chilly here in Northern Illinois. And I thank you for joining me this morning for step 5 on the Healership path. Irma Francis and I have been working on this great collaborative project called the Healership path. And it's to help anyone, whether they want to learn how to heal themselves, whether they want to help people that they love heal, their family, their friends, or they want to start a practice. It's about all the different steps and ways and tools that help us become the greatest healer, the greatest person that we know how to be. So thank you for joining me. This is only going to be about 5 to 7 minutes, although Irma and I do a radio show every morning on these topics for about a half hour, Monday through Friday, 8:15 to 8:45, thereabouts. So I'd love to have you join us then as well. Most mornings we are doing that, and we have great dialogue and great discussion, and we're creating this beautiful tribe of women. So on the topic of the Healership path and the return, yesterday we talked about, Irma and I separately talked about how there is this breakthrough that happens. And I talked about how Marianne Williamson calls it a miracle. She asks for miracles in her life, and the miracles are an awakening and understanding where all the pieces sort of come together. When you're in the middle of crisis or an emotion or trauma, someone's coming at you, or stress is getting to you, or your body hurts. And that happens to me very easily because I'm a feeling person more than I'm a thinking person. So I tend to feel everything that's going on around me, every thought that I have, every idea, I feel. And it's really easy to get caught up in that space. You can't see your way out of it. You obsess about what you're thinking. You can't get your thoughts and your mind in a positive direction. And you notice that you're one of those people that everybody says, wow, why are you so negative? And even if you don't say anything, your energy and your vibes come off. And even if you're really great, at which I am, at pretending as if nothing's wrong, people still feel it. There's this beautiful science of emotion where your body gives off waves of emotion that are measurable at least 3 to 4 feet away from your body. And so anyone who gets into that space, they can feel what you're feeling. They might not be aware of it, but you are triggering them in some way. And so even when you hide it super well, which most women in this world do, when you learn how to hide it really well and suppress it and put the happy face on and function and power through, the people feel it. Anyone who gets close to you notices, and they might not know what's going on. And so it'll trigger them. It'll trigger their thoughts and ideas and beliefs. We're really so interconnected. So Marianne Williamson, when she gets in those tough spots, what she does is she asks for a miracle. And that's become my latest habit for the last year or so. Whenever I feel stuck, I ask for a miracle. I do a little visualization of giving it up so that I can put it down for a little while. And that's how we get to this 5th step called the return. The return is when enough of your emotion has dialed down. Either you've exercised it out, or you've yelled it out at someone, or you've talked it out, or you've eaten it out, or whatever. Enough of your emotion has dialed down that suddenly the answer becomes clear. I keep a magnet on my refrigerator that a close friend gave to me, and it says, if you're going through hell, keep going. And a few years ago, I reinterpreted that. And what it means to me is, if you're going through hell, the only way to find the wisdom and the answers that you're looking for are to keep going through it. You can't bypass it. You can't do a spiritual bypass. You can't, hope that everything will just work out anyways. You actually have to let yourself go through what's going on without judgment, and then put it down as soon as you can. As soon as you put it down, usually pretty quickly afterwards, the next day or the day after that, is when the miracle comes, when the understanding, and you come back to the life that the person that you prefer to be. I mean, I go on this roller coaster of things as I continue to clean up all of the challenges that come from my past. As I continue to clean those things up, they come up as anger or anxiety or depression. That's how conflicts inside of our body show up. They show up as emotions or felt senses or a backache or your hip hurts or you're getting headaches or your eyes are strained. That's how a lot of these things show up. So when you're struggling, you have to ask yourself, is this me in conflict? Is this something that I'm projecting onto someone else? I had an argument with someone the other day. Actually, I didn't argue. I triggered them because of something that I said. And they had this emotion come up and they felt the need to tell me this is how they felt. And I thought that was beautiful because from a healer point of view, when someone shares with you how they feel, they're sharing with you their deepest soul, their deepest fears, the things that they've struggled with the most in life, their flaws, their wounds, their hurts. So when someone comes up in a rage and they point a finger and they say, you did this to me, when they do that, it's an opportunity for a beautiful healing because of the steps. The fifth step is the return, where you go through these things, you go through the emotion, you go through the anger, you have the argument, even if it's just in your head, you work it out, and then on the other side is the return. And you don't just return your same self. You know, there's this misconception that people can't change, they don't change. The older they get, the less they'll change. And that's actually really untrue. We are always evolving. And when we challenge ourselves to go through these steps, whenever we have a conflict or whenever we get angry about something, when we let ourselves go through the 5 steps of the healership path, then we come back and we return as a conquering hero because we've gained wisdom, almost like Jason and the Argonauts and the Golden Fleece. You know, whenever we go on this hero's quest of making peace with something inside of ourselves that maybe we think is somebody else that we're pointing fingers at or a situation, whenever we come back from that adventure into conflict or inner anxiety or worry, whenever we come back a better person because we're more at peace with who we are, with who we want to be, and we have a bigger understanding of how the world works. So whenever anybody triggers you or you trigger somebody else, look at it as an opportunity for a healing, for a way for someone to come back as a more beautiful version of themselves, and someone that's easier to get along with too, because they have a better understanding of life and of who they are and what their issues have been. So that's it for today. That's step 5 on the healership path, the return. If you love this, if this is helpful, go to inspiremassage.com and sign up for our email list because I send out an email every day and it keeps all of us on the right path. We're together as a tribe trying to make the world become a more peaceful and gentle place. And it certainly starts with us working through our own fears and issues with who we are as a person. So thanks for joining me. Step 5 of the healership path. And if you want more, see us Monday through Friday, 8:15 to 8:30, and sign up for our emails because it's great stuff every day. Ciao.